Hey coders, are you ready to take a road trip around Western Australia? That's exactly what our Scratch project is going to do today. So in our project, if you've got your instruction sheet, we need to start by opening the starter project. I'm going to click on the link to take me there. I can see here that I've got a lovely background featuring Western Australia and a Numbat, which is the native emblem of Western Australia. I'm going to click on Remix so that I can start my project. If you are not logged into an account like me, you can click on See Inside to be able to make a project. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename my project. Kaye's Road Trip is what I'm going to call mine. And if I do a quick explore of my screen so I know exactly what's in my project, down here I can see a number of sprites. I have my Numbat, and then there are 6 different photos as well as a label. If I jump into the label and click on costumes, you'll see that the costumes change to represent the different names of the places we're going to visit. So costumes is one of our feature code today. Let's begin. The first thing we need to do is to import the pen extension tool. So I'm going to click down the bottom left here and click on the pen extension. So that's going to bring in a new bunch of coding blocks that we're going to use, because as our Numbat moves around on the road trip, it's actually going to draw the path that it's taking along the way. Let's begin our coding. We're going to start with when the green flag is clicked. We're going to have 2 actions. We're going to have some things that start when a user clicks this, but to actually start the project moving, they're going to click on the Numbat. So when we have them click the green flag, we want to tell our sprite to put the pen up. And we're going to get it to move to its starting location, which is exactly where it is right now at 115 on the x-axis and -30 on the y-axis. Now, the reason that we say pen up here is that if our Numbat has done its whole road trip and it finishes down here, and the person comes back and clicks the green flag, when the Numbat goes from here to its starting position, if the pen has not been put up, it's going to draw a line there and we don't want it. So we're having the pen up to begin with. We're going to start a second algorithm when the green flag is clicked, and we are now going to set what we want the pen to do. Now we want this to do it forever. So put in a forever block, and then let's go to our pen tools. Forever, we're going to say, put your pen down. We're going to set the pen color. Now you can choose what color you would like to have moving around. I'm going to change mine to white. I'm going to have it match the little dots, but you can choose whatever color you want that's going to work on that background. And we are going to set the pen size to 10. So we've set some conditions for the pen in particular that the Numbat is going to be drawing as it's moving around the screen. Now we're going to start our main algorithm, which is going to give all the instructions about where to move and what's going to happen with that. Now, as I said before, we're doing this when the sprite is clicked. So let's bring over that event when the sprite is clicked. So basically what we're going to code our sprite to do, it's going to draw its path. We're going to tell it which dot to go to. When it gets there, it's going to send a broadcast, and that broadcast is going to do 2 things. It's going to tell one of these sprites to show on screen, which will match the place that it's gone to, and it will tell this sprite to change its costume to show the label that gives that place its name. So our first location is up here north, and we're going to the Bungle Bungles. So let's use a motion block to glide to, not a random position, to glide to a set position. Now this little dot is located at X, 115, and Y, 105. By using that glide function, we get a nice smooth movement up to the spot. So bring your broadcast over. We are going to do a broadcast called Bungle. So select your down arrow and click on New Message, and you're going to type in Bungle. Once you have that selected, we're going to choose Wait for 2 seconds. This will allow the picture to show up and the user to read the name as well. Now we can test our code. Got it started, and we click our sprite, and off it goes to its first location, drawing where it's gone. Fantastic. I'm going to click stop. We're going to run again. Oh no, the line is still there from the last time we ran it. We need to add in a block in this one. I'm going to click stop. We're going to add a block in here. So when the green flag is clicked, first thing it's going to do is erase all previous drawings, and then it will get set ready to go. Let's click the green flag again. There we go. So I've got a nice fresh screen. Click my sprite, and it's gone to its first location. Now, we are going to go through and continue to add on to this algorithm until it has visited each of these stops on its road trip. Now you can choose to go through and to drag these 3 sets of blocks across every time. However, as a coder, I like to take the shortcuts where I can. I'm actually going to duplicate these 3. So I do that by holding over the top block that I want to duplicate, click the right mouse, and then select duplicate. Now I've got those 3 blocks again, and I can add them underneath. Now, they're exactly the same. I need to change some of these details so that my Numbat is going to come across to the west and is going to go to Broome. So I've got glide 1 second. This time we're going to go to X at 25, and Y is actually going to remain at 105. We're going directly west. Now this one is Broome, so I need to click New Message. I'm going to call it Broome and wait 2 seconds. Fantastic. Next one we're going to do, we're going to come down southwest, and we're going to go to the pinnacles. So I'm going to duplicate those last 3 blocks again and add them underneath. So to go to the pinnacles, we're going to go to X at -100. I'm just going to click my stop button. My little Numbat's going. And Y is going to be -85. Create a new message. My new message here is Pinnacles. That's the name of our next location. Okay, going to duplicate once again. So we're going to go this time to the Swan River in Perth. So the Swan River is at -85 for X, and at Y, -110. And I'm going to do a new message of Swan River. That's our next location. Okay, time to duplicate another time. This time we're going to go and visit the rainbow containers. Now the rainbow containers on our map are at X, -85, and Y, -130. Let's create a new broadcast of the rainbow containers. And we've got one more stop, so one more duplication. We're going to go to the Pink Lake. The Pink Lake is located at X5 and Y, -150. And once again, call a new broadcast. I'm going to just call it Pink for the Pink Lake. Okay, so we've now gone to the 6 locations on our road trip, and we're just going to add in a comment box at the end. Our Numbat is going to say, awesome road trip. to finish off. So it's time to test our code. We want to make sure that we've got the coordinates correct to go on the road trip around Western Australia. So I'm going to click the green flag, nice and clean. It's back to its starting spot. Click on the Numbat. We're going to hopefully go and visit each of those dots in a correct order. Fabulous. And we've got a message at the end. Awesome road trip. Excellent. So our coding is doing exactly what we want it to do. Now we get to go to the other sprites as the photos, and we're going to code them about when to show onto screen and when to stay hidden. So if I go to my first one, the Bungle Bungles, I've got two short algorithms to put into here, and hopefully you've already figured it out what they're going to be. The first one is going to happen when the green flag is clicked. Now, when the green flag is clicked and the project is beginning, we want the photo to hide. We don't want to see it on screen yet. What we do want it to do when it receives the broadcast of, checking here, I'm on the Bungle Bungles, so I'm on a Bungle. When it receives the broadcast of Bungle, I want it to show. And that's as simple as it's going to be for each of those photos. When the green flag is clicked, hide. And when you receive the broadcast that matches its name, we're going to show. Now, again, you can go in to each of them and you can drag across all of the blocks that you need. So I'm going to do this one here. When it's a green flag, hide. When I receive, I'm on broom. When I receive broom, I'm going to show. Fantastic, I can do that. You can also do a nice little shortcut. If I want to copy my algorithm, I can drag it and hold it over the sprite. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit so you can see. And when I hold it over the sprite and it wiggles, I actually copy the code across. So I'm now on the pinnacles. When it's a green flag, hide. When I receive pinnacles, show. Okay, time to test our code and see if the photos show as we go. Here are the Bungle Bungles, broom, the pinnacles, Swan River, the rainbow containers, and the pink lake. Fantastic. Now, you might ask, how do the photos know where to show up? As the sprite has been imported, it's been deliberately placed in an area where the X and Y coordinates are set. So I don't actually need to set using a motion block to do that because we're not going to move them. Okay, the last thing we want to do is to do with our last sprite. Our last sprite gives the labels about all the places that the people are visiting. So again, this is using that broadcast function that we coded into our Numbat when it's sending that message about where it's going to. So this sprite, when it receives that broadcast, it's going to change to a costume. So what we need to do is set its beginning. What happens when the green flag is clicked at the very beginning? So when that happens, looks menu, we want to tell it exactly which costume to go to. So the Western Australia costume. And now we're going to do when we receive, I'm going to start with the Bungle Bungles. When I receive Bungle Bungles, I want to switch the costume to bungle bungles. Now our job here is to recreate that for each of the broadcasts. So again, remember my trick. I can right click over the top and duplicate that. And now I'll just change it so I can do one for broom. And I can keep duplicating that until I have done it for each of my locations. Now I'm going through my locations in the order of the road trip to make sure that I don't miss anything. You can do it in the order of what you want. You might choose to do it alphabetical, completely up to you, just so long as you make sure you have done each location so that each one matches when it gets the broadcast. It's going to show that costume. Okay, I believe it's time to test the final product. Let's see how we go. A flag, we're reset. Western Australia is told. Excellent. Let's see. Brilliant. My label is changing to let the user know exactly the location that they are going to. Was an awesome road trip. Well, coders, that's it for our project. Imagine what you can do to adapt this project and create your own. You could decide to do a road trip around your local area and showcase the amazing places that you live near. You might choose to do a trip around the world, the ultimate holiday that you'd like to take part in. Or perhaps you're going to research a country that you've never been to or heard of before, and you're going to create a project that tells us about the unique places in that country. I can't wait to see what you come up with, and I look forward to it being shared back. And if you're taking part in our Code of Origin challenge, don't forget to send through your votes. Happy coding, everyone.